Hello and welcome to another episode of Farming Simulator 25. As you can see, guys, we have another trailer load of wood chips. We don't have that many trees left in this land, but you know, I am still in January. I do want to just point that out. We are in January at the moment because what I wanted to show you was we got somewhere to sleep. So hopefully this is going to trigger new jobs and stuff a lot easier now. I feel like I'm flying. Weird. Yeah, so we've officially got somewhere to sleep, and yeah, it should trigger hopefully more items in the shop. Not that we had any issues with the shop, but yeah, I was just kind of hoping, really. But what we're going to do today is we're going to sell that first lot of wood chips, and then, well, to be honest, yeah, I don't know why I was actually looking in the sky then. Wow, guys, we lost everything. Wow, we had so much in here and now it's gone. Wow, ooh, that's not bad. That is not a bad price. That would be quite nice actually, just to, you know, take more heavier loads. Yeah, not really anything on here. Let's just double check the price of the wood chips for us to sell. Well, we've already got the trailers on, so we have to sell them. 486. Yeah, we're going to farmers market, so they are still a better price at the farmers market. Yeah, we are still making relatively good income from these wood chips, and yeah, the good thing is, right, in theory, right, my side panel is working today. Oh, hang on, that'll be why. There we go. I'm gonna say my side panel is working, but it was not working because I was not actually on the implement I needed. Oh, right, I tell you what, Mondays at the moment, guys, are very, very weird for recording because I am really lost with what I've done on the Friday, ready for the Monday release video. When I'm recording this on a Monday, yeah, it catches me out a little bit, like, what did we do? What were we doing? And yeah, my bad. Right, so yeah, we've got this trailer load to do. I know I'm getting a little bit fed up of doing wood chips, but spring is not quite here. I don't think we've got any grass mowing contracts at the moment, and to be honest, they are the only other kind of job we can do at the moment. We could technically get a baling contract, but if there's no grass mowing contracts, there is definitely not going to be any baling contracts. But we can have a look. We do want to go down the route of the John Deere. Somebody did put in the comments saying, look, just get the John Deere, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we will do that. Yeah, we're going to make our early morning trip to the sell point. We should make about I reckon we should make about £5,500 ish. It's not going to be as much as it was in the previous episode, but you know, we've got to make some money. I did have an issue getting this trailer load of wood chips actually at the end of the last episode. I've not been using super strength, even off recording. I've not been using super strength. I've been really doing my best to stay away from it. Yeah, so what the issue I was having is, I was just double checking something. The issue I was having was I cut a tree down and I've been trying to cut up the tree trunk, and it's just been so long and so heavy, and oh yeah, absolute nightmare to try and get it into the chipper. I was kind of hoping that it would just take the whole tree trunk as it was. I lowered the tree trunk down and I parked right next to it, do you know what I mean? I was like ramming it into the chipper and stuff. But yeah, I've had to basically cut it. The only issue with this chipper is like that input for the chipper is so small. The logs have to be small, and that's kind of where the issue that I'm talking about is coming in. It took forever, to be quite honest. Now this is going to be episode 9, I think. Episode 9. Nine episodes selling wood and chipping is... yeah, it's a lot. I'm tempted about putting some pieces of tree into this class trailer and actually doing some tree work now. Wow, we still got over £6,000 for a trailer load. Okay, that means we are going to be chipping then today, definitely. Because if you saw how little of this tree trunk I chipped to put into this trailer, you would understand why that is a fantastic price. The easiest thing to do is just to show you when we get back. Tell you what I will do actually. They can just wait for me behind me. What have we got? We've got a cultivating job. We don't have a cultivator. We could possibly buy a cultivator. If there is a cultivating contract, we could maybe actually do a cultivating contract. That is £11,000. It would be a very big job because I don't think... well, we can't get a very big cultivator. That's the problem. It would be this field here on the... tell you what, let's just pull straight over now. There's no cultivator in here. Yeah, it's definitely this field here. Why are them harvesting still there? Right, so let's have a little look. We are looking at cultivators. I really don't want to go down those ones, to be honest. Like, I've got no problems using this one. But it just looks so pants. I like that one, to be honest. 6 meters wide, 20 grand, 140 brake horsepower. Now it is massively over our limit. That is the only issue. We may struggle with it. The only other option is we could go 6.3 meters with this one, but we've used this one a lot as well. 130 brake horsepower, 180, 150. We're just getting higher and higher and higher here, aren't we? I had to look. I had to look. We can't rent to do it. That's the problem. I really want that grinder 600, but if the tractor doesn't pull it, we're screwed. That's the problem. And let's be fair, we do kind of have an issue with this anyway. I tell you what we'll do. We're gonna go and buy it. We're gonna go and buy a cultivator. We're gonna go and do a... we're gonna... yeah, screw it. Whoa, we've got another one come up. That one's worth more money. We're gonna do that one instead of wood chipping in this episode. I can always do a trailer of wood chips at the end of this episode. Like I said, I want to try and get away from the wood chipping in the wood, unless I really have to, or I need extra income and stuff. But yeah, we are gonna have to go and pick up our cultivator. That is gonna take a minute or two. I am a little bit disappointed though, because I was gonna show you the issue I was having with the wood chipping, but you know what? It'll be nice to do a time lapse on a cultivating job and actually do another kind of job. I'm looking forward to this. Just gotta leave everything at the not exactly a field, but yeah, gotta leave everything there now. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we need to get some trunks into the back of this class trailer and start selling some wood again. Now I know we don't make as much money, but we do spend a lot of time wood chipping, and it is quite annoying. Well, it's not annoying, it's just it's the only thing we've been doing all winter. But you know, it has been winter. What more are we supposed to do in winter? It is the way of the job in winter. Right, let's get pulled into here. Yeah, I put the trailer as close to the end as I could. Tell you what we need to do actually. Might be able... yes, I did. Nice. I dropped that all at once. Can we do that? Let's do that. Let's do that. Yes. We got it all at once. Nice. Woo. Steering wheel is lovely today. It is feeling lovely. I've had an update to it onto the R5 base, and to be honest, the spring is working really well with like a 4-speed back styler. So like if I'm sat not moving, there's like nothing to the wheel, and as soon as I get to like 1 mile an hour, it's just that's how I like my steering wheels. I know it's not exactly how a tractor is, but that is exactly how I'd love to have my my steering wheel. We've still got... Alright, we've actually got a lot of trees in there still to go, and I didn't realise there was quite so many. We need a bigger trailer. As daft as it sounds, we need a bigger trailer so that at least if I'm wood chipping, I can take like 20,000. We can buy an extension to ours that will up it to about 20,000, so it might be worth starting to look at maybe doing that, because yeah, it's just right. Yeah, you will have to forgive me guys, I did have a graphics card update, I want to say on Saturday. I don't understand what all the graphic card updates are at the moment. I think it's just NVIDIA's way of bringing update to certain games, but then, you know, yeah. And I know on Saturday I had an Intel one as well. I literally had them both to do. Oh, God. I've got an ice cold tin of Monster this morning. It is lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Like proper fridge cold, you know what I mean? It's almost like icy. It's like if you just put ice in a drink, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily icy, but it's, yeah, like my fridge is on like 3. It's not far off freezing. We might as well be. Right, let's go get our new implement. Yeah, well, like I say, I haven't been here, so I don't know what tyres I've got on this. I've got a feeling I'm about to make an absolutely massive mistake here. I do just want to point that out. I do genuinely think we've made it. Oh, nope, I need to be on the other side. I do believe I've made a mistake for the power requirements, but I'm hoping, worst case scenario, guys, we'll drive to the top of the hill and we'll basically work our way down. We've done that in a lot of series in the past. Right. It takes me a while to look at the buttons because I actually physically have to look where the button locations are on this new steering wheel. There's no LSB like there was on the old Logitech. Whoa! I did not mean to go in there like that. Please don't be stuck. This is... Thank you. I didn't mean to drive that actually fully into there. It just took a little bit longer to stop than I initially planned. But yeah, we're gonna go and do Field 41, and we also own a brand new implement. Look at that. That is absolutely lovely. It's very heavy. It's very heavy. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing something else. I said I will have to do some wood chipping at the end though, just ready for the beginning of the next episode, but you know, that is just what it is. But yeah, it is nice to be getting on with some other style of contrast, but this is what it's all about. We wouldn't have this implement if we didn't do the wood chips over the winter, and that's exactly how, you know, we're going to be looking at this and these kind of jobs. And I think 6 meters is the minimum we need for cultivating. We cannot go any smaller. The only problem is I'm massively underpowered. I always feel like I don't do much in this series at the moment, but to be honest, it took a while to get to the shop. Like we're working our way back to the field now. it's taking forever. That's why it's quicker to sell wood chips at the animal dealer than it is to sell wood. Like I say, I know we were looking at maybe trying to get a piece of land, but we spent 20 grand on an implement and we're about to make 11 back instantly. You can't argue with that kind of return on one job, and it gives us a new implement for more jobs. We're obviously going to be getting some winter cultivating or spring cultivating coming up, so why not? Then at the end of harvest season we'll have more cultivating to do. I'm very happy with the purchase, that's for sure. Wow, this road is huge. I maybe should have time-lapsed this. I maybe should have time-lapsed. It's Monday morning. It's Monday morning for me. Yeah, it's Monday. I've had a very, very busy, hectic weekend with working in the house. Yeah, honestly, it's been hell. But it's another load of jobs they only had to be done once. Right, so this is the field. This is where we're going to be working. We're going to go anti-clockwise in this field, guys, because I think it's going to be a little less steep. Okay. Well, this is the field. We are in the field. Why are we not cultivating, guys? Why are we not let's get rid of all the contracts. So we're in the field. It's not one that needs to be turned on. Any in particular reason why this is not working? Oh. Interesting. Right, I'm gonna have to figure this out, guys. Right, guys, after a little bit of testing, I have found that this is a front cultivator. Someone's probably screaming at me in the comments. You know what? You do right. I didn't realise it was... Yeah, I didn't realise. There we go. So it is working well now. There we go. It just took me a minute. If I'd have figured that out on recording, it would, yeah, and it didn't take me long. I'm just not messed, you know, it was just easy to do this. But yeah, there we go, guys. As you can see, we are now finally cultivating. I don't like cultivators on the front. I'm gonna be honest. I like to have the cultivator fix the land behind you, you know, with the tyre mat. But as you can see, that is looking fantastic. We've already done 1% as well. I don't think this will take a while to do, but I don't think it's going to be as long as I actually think, because at least we are cultivating at like 6 meters wide. It's not like we're doing a couple of meters at once. So yeah, it's definitely it's definitely better than it could have been. And boy, racer car noises are a little bit weird. They're nice every once in a while, but like every other car that passes, okay. I'm just starting to grasp the size of this field at 6 meters. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. But as you can see, guys, look at this. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. That is awesome. And like I said, 9 miles an hour is a pretty good working speed. might not do a whole headland. I might not, but we'll see. We're not having any issues at the moment with the power requirement, which is nice. I am very glad though I took the weight with me. I think without the weight, I think we would definitely have some issues. I don't know if this is supposed to be a front cultivator though, guys. It just looks a bit weird. I just, yeah. It's weird seeing it on the front. But that's just because I'm used to them on being on the back. I'm used to using like the really cheap ones, you know, when we do these kind of series. So that's why I kind of made a point of not buying a cheap one. We've still got £9,000 in the bank as well. So, you know, we're not exactly broke. You know, it'll be nice to get 11 grand back from this job. I don't think there is any more cultivating contracts. I was thinking of taking the other one on as a job, but I don't think we'll get them both done in this episode. But you know, we might get more we will get more cultivating jobs as soon as the harvested fields get done, but I don't really know why they're not getting harvested. I think I maybe bugged it out just a little bit when I didn't technically have a place to sleep. But they might fix themselves at the end of this following year, which is fine if they do. That is almost one harvest done. What harvest? That is almost one headland done. It's very, very nice indeed. Yeah, as I was saying before, guys, very busy weekend. That's why I'm kind of not producing videos on a weekend, especially at the moment. Because by the time the 2 hours are up for doing a video, in the 2 hours over this last weekend, I had the exterior of the front of my house painted basically, and that's kind of what I was doing over the weekend. I then came in, I fitted a carpet in the in my entranceway. Yeah, you know, those little bits. I've got a little draft coming up from my cellar into my office, and I've been trying to basically work that one out. I've got insulation, so I think it's around like the edge on the brickwork. So I've just kind of been filling those little gaps in just to try and not have the temperature drop quite as much in this little room. It's okay when I'm in here because the 5090 like bellows out some heat and it warms it up. I don't need heating in here at all. It's just when you first come in, it's like, whew, a bit nippy. That was kind of what I was doing over the weekend. Did loads of other little bits and jobs and stuff as well. Just that's kind of why at the moment weekends are kind of on myself at the moment, just to get other jobs done. Right, what we're going to do then, guys, is I'm going to get this turned into a little bit of a time lapse because that has taken a little while to do. The first headland, and it took us a while to figure out how this cultivator was working, which was just complete. You can tell it's Monday. But yeah, we'll get the radio turned on, guys, and we'll get as much as we can done in the next few minutes. Wow. Right, there we go, guys. As you can see, we are only 45% done in that time lapse. I'm glad I'm not doing it any smaller than 6 meters. Jesus, this is I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but saying that, half the issue is we do lose a little bit of speed on the way up. We should be working about 9 miles an hour. At one point we were hitting like 5 to 6, just on the steepy bits going up there. I do think it's kind of leveling out a little bit. I could do, actually, we're getting that bit done there, so we're not curving round here on the right. If we kind of just went in a straight line, I think that might benefit us a little bit going forward. But either way, the whole field's getting cultivated. How it's done, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that is... this is well worth the money. I'm glad we're doing it. The tractor is not struggling too badly. Right, we have lost 2 miles an hour at the moment. But if we were to get rid of this bit of hill that we're working on right now and just concentrate going up and down this little bit, I think it would benefit the tractor. I really do. And I think, to be honest, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. I do. I think this benefits us. We are now back at 9 miles per hour. Yeah, it was a nice time lapse. Was that a good length? It's kind of like the maximum kind of length I like on a time lapse. We are probably going to have to jump into another one though to get this field finished in this episode. And I'm just taking a minute or two just to... I expect it to be about 70-80%, to be honest, at the end of that time lapse. So the fact that we weren't or we're not, but it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, this field will be done in this episode. Yeah, we're just going to go here halfway down the field, guys, and we're just going to concentrate on getting this kind of in a bit more of a straight line, and I think that might benefit the tractor. Like I say, instead of losing 2 miles an hour, if we can keep that. The only problem I have is I like to go down the hill and get as much as I can done, because we do get maximum speed going downhill. But it does suck from that point of view. We're guaranteed to not slow down here. But if we just put a nice straight edge in here, it's not exactly how I wanted to do this, but I'm just trying to benefit it overall, really. Should just about do. Might need to do a bit more of a turn though, so we don't miss a little bit. And try my hardest not to miss any, so we don't have to go around touching up little patches. Yeah, I think maybe we are better off. I think once we get this bit lined up here, we'll be good. I really do. But I think what we'll do is we'll get the radio turned back on and we'll listen to a little bit of music, and we'll hopefully try and get this field done in the next time lapse. I hope so. Right guys, that is the second time lapse completed, and well, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. It definitely made a huge difference the minute we were going in a straight line. It made a huge difference. But this is pretty much, I think finishing this little bit here will just about finish this field, to be honest. I don't think we need to go hunting for some of those other bits, although if we do, they are technically on the way back to our piece of land. Yeah, that was a big job, even for 6 meters. Imagine if we only had 3 meters, we'd only be halfway done. But yeah, it definitely made a difference getting that this one. And to be honest, 140 brake horsepower requirement for the cultivator. It didn't do a bad job. We have 114. It's either 114 or 116. It's something daft like that. It's yeah, and that's a good amount. I'm very happy with, you know, the horsepower requirements and the horsepower we actually had. This could have been a lot worse job. This could have been going into like 3 or 4 time lapses, you know what I mean? This could have been us in February in the next episode just to finish it off. But I am trying to start each episode in a new month. I do like to try and do that. I don't like to overlap as much as we, you know, if we can help it. I would rather only work till 12, for example, and then move into another day. And at least then if we come to doing a root crop harvest or something like that, we would have the time to do it in 1 month without going into multiple days. Polegny, I loved Polegny because it was like, we had the multiple days. It was nice to have the multiple days. But then in the winter months, which is like November, December, January, February, March kind of thing, there wasn't overly much to do. So at least if we leave it on 1 day per month, we can just adjust the time zones, you know. Or at least just leave it on 5, and if we get finished at 12 o'clock midday, for example, we just finish at midday. Not the end of the world, really. I am having some problems turning this way. See what we're going to do. We're going to go this way just for a little bit. Just because this is even more flatter. And we've only got 7% left to do. But this is a good £11,000 in the bank. And don't forget, off recording, guys, what I will do is I will fill the trailer full of wood chips just to go and sell. You guys don't have to look at me doing that. Unless we've got nothing else to do. You know, if we don't have any other jobs to do, we will do wood chips in an episode. But we have a mower now. We have a cultivator. You know, we're not just wood chipping constantly now. This is why when that contract came up, I wanted to do this. Now we might be doing a lot of grass, we might be doing a lot of cultivating, you know, we might still be doing some wood chip, you know, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter, as long as, you know, we're trying to get the wood chips clear, or we're trying to get the little forest area clear so we can bring in sheep or goats, what, you know, an animal that can just graze. Once we've got that, we will start making some money quickly. And that's what I'm trying to get to right now. Like I say, I'm not bothered about having massive equipment. It'll be nice to have it. But, you know, once you've got one big tractor, you don't really need another one. That's the problem. And at least right now, we are well on our way to getting established a little bit more. I'm tempted about selling that other forestry land, actually. Getting the money back in the bank. We can always buy it if we really needed it. I didn't think we'd get a cultivator we could pull of a decent size. That was the problem. I was trying to think of other jobs and stuff, and the equipment, and needing to get another tractor and things, and it ended up, this has been an absolutely fantastic little tractor. I say I don't tend to drive the John Deeres in the game because I don't like the colour. That shade of green is just, you know, it's just my opinion. But yeah, I definitely am very, very impressed with this little John Deere. He is working his little socks off, as my wife would say. Yeah, I am very tempted about selling. I tell you what, I'll leave it. I won't even sell it in the next episode. I'll ask now, and then that gives you like a whole day to reply. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we sell the other forestry land? We can always buy it if we need it, as long as we've got 20 grand. So do you reckon it's worth selling? We can put that money towards something else, but we still got to finish wood chipping and clearing the land for our goats. Just remember that. We could technically put goats in it now with the trees, but then we wouldn't technically have access to the trees if we needed money. And that's what I'm trying to clear out that area. Actually, I kind of want to build a little farm on it, to be honest, with some animals, because it is actually bigger than you think. Right, there we go, guys. That is completed. We have officially completed the contract. Let's get that payment in our bank now, and that is there. £11,752 in the bank, and if we sold that piece of land, we'd get 21 grand. So we'd have nearly, well, we'd have 40. We'd basically have £42,000 in the bank if we were to sell the land. That's not bad going at all. But I am going to leave the episode here, guys. Like I say, I will fill the trailer of wood chips off recording. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you loved the expansion with the new implements and the new kind of jobs we can now do. And until the next episode, guys, see you all later on.